All right, how's it going? Welcome. In this stream, we're going to go through and see what it's like to take a brand new Rails application, install Inertia.js and React, Tailwind 4, and ShadCN. And the reason for this is I've been playing around with with Laravel a lot lately, and the new starter kits, Laravel 12, Laravel Cloud, it's all pretty awesome. And the new starter kit with Inertia and React and ShadCN and everything just like ready to go to start building your app is pretty wild. Like that's going to be a game changer to like just try things out and spin up an idea. Like the hardest part is execution, right? Is like finishing that idea, seeing it through completion, getting it out there to users. Really, really cool experience. We don't really have that same experience with Rails. And so I want to see what it's like to go and install those tools. Maybe if it works out well in a follow-up stream, we'll build a Rails engine or a template or something like that to make creating new projects easier, right? Remove or reduce that blank page problem. So in this, we're going to use Rails 8. We're going to use Inertia.js, the Rails adapter. We are going to use React, of course. We're going to use ShadCN here. Let's see. Can we just get to the home page? There we go. And we're going to look at what this update is for Tailwind 4. There's something specifically there that we might need to do. And of course, we're going to use Tailwind for those times when we do need to override and customize and change things. But for the most part, we're going to try to use the components. Now, I don't know if there are, I've never used ShadCN, so I don't know if there are like layout components per se. So some of this might be learning. I've briefly just kind of looked through what the components are here, and yeah, I didn't see any kind of like layout, right? Like there's a sidebar, I guess skeleton. No, that's like the data loading. There's like the sidebar here. Okay, and like breaks down the structure of the sidebar. Nice, very good documentation. All the components of the sidebar provider, keyboard shortcuts, persistency. I mean, the sidebar is a complicated thing. With our header, right? Collapse. And these are some of the really cool things that you can, that you get with the new Laravel, which is like, it's pretty wild, right? Like, we're doing, whoops. We're focused on Rails here, right? But check this out real quick. Laravel new demo app, whatever. We're going to come here. We're going to choose React, built-in auth, pest, let it go. I got a new keyboard, a new Happy Hacking Professional Classic. I've had one of these before and got rid of it, and I have one now, so now I'm trying to get back used to it, but like most of the muscle memory is there. The arrow keys are on a different layer, and so for the times where you do need them, where you're not in NeoVim, it can take some getting used to. So if I fumble around a little bit, that's why. All right, let's get this set up. Okay, so what do we call it? Demo app. So I have Herd installed, so I can just go demo app.test, and that's going to pull it up. So we're going to get this default landing page. We'll get a login page. Again, all because we chose React. We're using ShadCN here for this. Sign up page. We'll go ahead, longer password. Okay, and we're gonna log in. We have a dashboard page. Look at that, it's that same sidebar. And they have some different layouts and stuff. We can go down here, hit that same kind of menu. We can go over to appearance, go to light mode. You can see that a little bit better, right? We have our dashboard. Different settings, back to dark mode. And yeah, so I really like this, the way that this starter kit is set up and like how it's broken down with all the React components. It's pretty cool. And I think that's probably the right approach for most Rails applications, that you can still get most of the advantages of Rails without having to lose out on all the advantages of React. And like React is just better at managing client-side state and building reusable UI components, right? And in the beginning, the name of the game is build and like prove product market fit, right? Make something that works, get paying customers, get feedback from real users, and then you iterate on that thing. But I would argue that if you're growing a long-term sustainable growing SaaS product, you need consistency, because that consistency and maintainability is going to affect your velocity, your ability to make changes, your ability to pivot and iterate, and reduce the amount of bugs that you end up having overall in the long term because of fragmentation, and other things that happen when you lack that consistency. So might be the approach, right? Also being able to bake in accessibility and things like that, like ShadCN is accessible by default, which is something that is really important to me. So should be really cool. So we're going to see what it's like. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it installed. Maybe we won't, but we're going to see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and switch over here. So let's see. First thing is first. What do we need to do? We're going to create well, we have, let's see, do we create our new site? We created that one. Okay. So we're going to create a new Rails application here. And what do I want to do? I want to do like Rails new, Inertia React. We're going to skip tests because I prefer RSpec if I was going to write tests for these, but we're not going to write tests. And if we do write, maybe we will add RSpec at some point and write some controller tests to see what that would be like with Inertia, or some request specs rather. But we're going to use Jest for JavaScript tests for our React components. And let's see. Let's go ahead and skip. Let's go ahead and install a bundle. So we'll do JS. Is this JS or -J? Let me try this real quick. Rails new -J. Yeah. Okay. So -J ES build -C Tailwind. And we're not really focused on the database, so we'll leave it as SQLite for now, and we'll go ahead and create that. So let that run, and then we'll go in and add our dependencies. Okay. So let's cd into our project. We're going to go ahead and open it up in NeoVim. And let's go to our gem file. Let's clean this up real quick. I think it's going to end up adding this back when we do our auth. I'm pretty sure it uses it by default. We'll leave all the new hotness in there. Well, supposedly. We'll see if it's any good. I haven't used it except for just some demo apps. There we go. Let's go ahead and sort those. Put that one back where it goes. Okay, so what do we need? We need Inertia Rails. Okay. JS bundling Rails we already have. Tailwind we should already have. Let's double check that real quick. Do we have a Tailwind? We only have a style sheet. We are using Tailwind 4 by default, which is awesome. I don't know. They must have pushed like a minor patch. No, it's still 8.01. Something changed where it just started using Tailwind 4. And previously, even just like a few days ago, it was still using Tailwind version 3X when generating a new Rails project and creating the Tailwind .config.js, which is no longer required in Tailwind 4. You can configure everything in CSS. You just have the CSS file. This is all you need to import Tailwind, and then you can start overriding it. So if you wanted to like customize it for your own kind of theme, you can do @theme. Again, new keyboard, @theme, and then you can come in here and you can just start overriding it. So you can do like --color -primary. Sure, that blue color, that's our primary color. You could do that, and now all of a sudden you have access to color primary everywhere. Let's go ahead and close out this Laravel starter kit. We're not talking about Laravel today. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll talk about it some later. Okay, so we have our new Rails app. We have Inertia. What else do we need to do with Inertia here? Okay, so I've never used Inertia before either, so let's see how this goes. All right, so it looks like render. Is this the route? Render inertia responses is simple. Just use the inertia render in your controller methods. The render accepts 2 arguments. The first is the name of the component that you want to render from your pages directory. Okay, so this is our component. The second argument is an options hash where you can provide props to your components. The options hash allows you to pass view data to your layout. But this is much less common. Okay, got it. So use Inertia instance props. Starting in version 3, Inertia Rails allows you to provide your component name and props via common Rails conventions. So you can do this, which is the same as this. Oh, but then it's going to map directly to the action. Is that always the case in... I'm curious. If that is always the case here in this Laravel app. So see, I told you we were going to talk about it again. If we go to Laravel, interesting. So like we have settings controllers. We don't have any, and it's just doing the same thing there. Render. I think we just use the render call. The Rails convention seems nice, but I feel like, I don't know, is it common for the controller, for the component to match the controller action like that? I guess for the page component it would be. The view, I mean, right? And that's like you would have a view component, and then in that you would have your other components. Because I'm pretty sure when you add a ShadCN component, again, never used it, it actually pulls in the code and adds the code to your project. And then you just include that component like you would any other React component, but now you own the code. It's your copy of that component, right? I think that's the whole point of it. All right, so let me double check to your project, and then you just include that component like you would any other React component, but now you own the code. Right. Okay, so I don't know. Will this always, like, whatever gets returned is what it'll provide back as props? Because, like, then that could be cool. That simplifies it where you don't need this. In version 3, okay, so Inertia share. So wouldn't we just do this in like a base controller? Because I think we would want to share our current user everywhere. All right. Ah, got it. So here's the thing, right? It says you don't need a controller to handle a static component. You can route directly to a component with the Inertia route helper. So I bet if we come here in our Laravel app and we go to routes.webphp, yeah, so it's just rendering the component. So there's no controller even needed for it. That's actually pretty sweet. We could just render a component, a page, right? We don't need a pages controller. It's not going to have anything on it. Right. And we look at welcome again, still talking about Laravel. I mean, we're in React, TypeScript, JavaScript land now. I wish my syntax coloring was better. Highlighting was better for some of this. Could always open it in VS Code, but I'd rather not. Maybe we will. Yeah, I might have to fix that. Okay, let's stop talking about Laravel again. Here we go. Back here. All right, so we'll leave. Oh, I don't know. What color do we want? I don't think we want that color. Let's do something that's going to show up a bit more. Let's do that as our, again, arrow keys. Weird on this keyboard, but this keyboard is so nice. I think I'm gonna mod this one though. I bought it secondhand, and it was only focus. It's in like really, really good shape, like 2023 model or something. I think the person barely used it, couldn't get used to the layout. Bought a different keyboard. So I got it for super cheap, which is awesome. Yeah. Now I gotta get used to those arrow keys. Okay, so we've got that. We have Inertia Rails. See if we need anything else. We need React Rails, right? Is React Rails still the way to install React in Rails? I'm guessing so. 9 months ago. Been around for quite a while. It doesn't really have that many stars. Interesting. We're not using that. We're not using that. I don't know if we should use this. Because we're not using Webpack. That's not going to help us. 2 years ago doesn't help. A month ago. Yeah, I want to use Inertia. That's what we're trying to use. How do we get React installed with... Oh yeah, Superglue is also another one that I saw from Thoughtbot that looks really interesting from a Rails perspective. So it's essentially the same thing, but you have like a JSON view. So it uses like the JBuilder. If you're familiar with JBuilder, it's a kind of, is it YAML? I think it's YAML. It's probably YAML. Oh, we don't have any. Is it even installed? It is installed by default. But it's this kind of like hierarchical view of your data that you're returning to the view or from an API endpoint. And so it's doing the same thing for props here. So you can use the props there, and you have your page component, and you have an ERB element. And I don't know if this is something for SEO or what, but I think this is like a lightweight version of something very similar to Inertia, but just for Rails. And it's by Thoughtbot, which is great. And so you can use React and Redux. So like this is also another option. I want to try to get Inertia working though. Maybe we'll do a separate one on this because I would like to explore this as well, or maybe if we have time, if we get through the one, we'll explore this one as well. I could have swore they had better documentation for this. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, here we go. All right, so we shape the props to map the component structure. So I see how there's like a structure. So we have like a header, and we have our username, our link to profile, our cart. This is going to be a whole partial. Interesting. Daily special is a partial. So I wonder if these are components that are rendering. So I don't fully understand this. This seems a little weird that you would structure the data in the same shape as the component. I mean, I get like naming it from the component, but I don't know. I haven't used it, right? So I'm not gonna judge. Oh, interesting. So let's see here. So we have header, right drawer, product filter, products, footer, drawer, header, footer, product list, product from components. Use turbo links for navigating. Yeah, might have to check this out too. But what I want is, how do I install React? Ooh, we have RSpec helpers for Inertia. Nice. Nice. We are gonna, you know, let's just do that real quick. It's easy enough. Gem. Whoa, don't mind that. RSpec Rails. What do we want? Factory bot Rails. Yeah, we want Faker, Pry Rails, Gem, Capybara. Let's go and sort those as well. Go and run a bundle install. That'll get our Inertia installed. Rails G RSpec : install. I'll go ahead and create our spec helper, Rails helper spec directory in our rspec config file. And then what we want to do is in our Rails helper, let's get rid of these single quotes first. And then let's see, where do we want this? So we're going to require that. It just says to add it there, but where should we add it? So let's see. It's all for spec support. Oh yeah, below this line. Okay, so require, and we're gonna say inertia Rails rspec. Whoops, did not mean to leave. New keyboard, it's fine. Okay, so we've got that in there. We don't really have a page per se, and I think we're going to replace it with a component. But let's go ahead and open up our routes, and let's just create a root route. And we're going to say root to and pages welcome. We'll just kind of follow the same pattern that Laravel had, and we have to create a controller for this for now. So app controllers, pages controller .rb. Oh wait, we named it welcome. And let's add our view, app views, pages, welcome.html.erb. Again, we're going to replace this with a component, but we just need something. I love how it's ChatGPT is trying to autocomplete Rails 4.0. I knew it was trained on old data, but come on. Okay. And now what we can do is we can go into our spec. Let's do, we could do a request spec, which I think would be fine. But let's actually add a feature spec. So we're going to add features. Yeah. New keyboard. Features. User can visit the home page _spec.rb. Boom. Require Rails helper. And yeah, let's go Copilot. Let's go. Yep. Read it. All right. Let's open up a new tmux window, and we'll go ahead and attach our runner to it and run our spec. Let's see. Let's change this. Change this. Let's go to. All right. Renders the home page. Great. So now we know we have our testing set up and working. Also, we probably should be committing along the way. We will, before we get into all the JavaScript heavy things, in case we need to pull the escape hatch and try again. We shouldn't need to, but you never know. All right, so let's see here. It's just assertions. Cool. So we can check for props, verify props that are passed. Nice. Okay. So client side setup for detailed. What do we need to do? Inertia. Ooh, look at that. These are much better guides. What are we? There we go. That's exactly All right, hold on. We're not quite doing that. We're doing Rails. Server side. Tell me you got me covered. Okay. So we installed that. So we need to run the installer for Inertia. Let's run that. Would you like to install Vite? Yes, I would. I love Vite. Ruby. Or Vite. Use Vite Ruby. Would you like to use TypeScript? Yes, I would like to use TypeScript. React, which is the default. Should I say no? Because I already have. Let's just do it, and then we'll update it as we need to. Oh, it's already pulling 4.09. Nice. Yeah. Over. Do your thing. I didn't know you had all of this going on. Now I wish I would have committed before I did that, so I could see all the files generated. Let's go here. See what we did. So we've got some Vite, some Vite tags. It had a bunch of tags. Okay. Let's see. We have app CSS, which we're going to pull in a couple plugins. Application.js, which has Vite. Okay, we have Inertia, TypeScript. Okay. And there's that. Okay, so Inertia is configured there. We have our views. We have our welcome page. That's it. That's all we have. Let's change something up real quick. What if we... No, let's wait. Let's wait. Okay. Excuse me. So we have our welcome view. We ran the generator. Preferred front-end framework. Yep, went through all that. Created everything. We need to run a bin dev. Okay, so let's do bin dev. Make sure that runs and doesn't crash. No, it crashes. Sigterm Y. Server is already running. All right, so is it the same PID? Whoa. Like a, I don't know what I pressed. All right, so what's the PID? 56520, right? So kill -9 56520, 56520. No process. I can't tell if it's because of the watcher. 56520 server.pid. So temp pids server.pid. Okay, so what if I remove that and then run bin dev? It's still going to do the same thing. Let's do this. Let's do Rails server. And let's open up vdev separately. And now, actually, you know what? We can just replace this one. And we're going to get welcome to Rails 8. We do have Tailwind installed. And so if we come back here, up to a welcome view. What are we going to do? P like 16. And interesting. Okay, so it's not picking up my change. Or we're not actually pulling in Tailwind. Doesn't look like we're pulling in Tailwind. Let's install the React Dev Tools. Okay. Which I'm pretty sure I have to like reinstall or reopen this. Okay. Now over here we should get components. Nice. Again, not doing anything with that yet. Can I read properties null reading data set? I don't know what that's from by default, where something's already broken in it. Let's finish. So we did that. Oh, it says navigate to this. What? Oh, okay. Where did it create that? So where is that? Entry point pages? Inertia. Ah. Okay. And this is our page for all of that. Got it. Let's make this smaller. Doesn't need to be ginormous. Okay. What's next? So now we need to create a... If you decide not to use the generator, you can manually set up... Oh, well, we could have done this. We use the generator. So can we just go with this? So if we come here, let's do this. That way, if we break it, we can come back to it, right? Okay, so let's go with this. Super simple approach. You know, I like this color scheme. Let's check this out. Like, I like capuchin as well. But I like Moonfly. We're gonna have to update some other things to go back to it. Edit. Right. And so we get this kind of darker theme here. Is this better? Is this easier to see on the stream? I wonder. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if this is easier than what we had before. You have to back up to see it. Because I feel like on one hand, this is. But then on the other hand, if we look here, I feel like this is a bit easier to see. I think this should be darker though. This should be like a different color. Like a darker shade. Maybe we just change that. All right, so let's see. Let's just stash that. Yep. Close that. Reopen. Come back into Capuchin in, let's see. 1D, 1D, 1D. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's our base, and then normal. Come back in. Is that better? I mean, it blends in with that, so we'd have to change, potentially have to change our file. Is that even? Yeah, 1D, 1D, 1D. Okay. I feel like that's a little bit better. It's a little bit darker. Everything's got this like blue tint to it. All right, let's try this. Let's try this. And now if we open this up, it should be the same color as on the right. Like that blue tint. Tends to look a little bit better with this theme. I think it's what it comes with by default, and I changed it to more of a dark color. So let's see. What would be... let's see. I'm not a huge fan of the blue. Let's see if, which I think we can take it out just by changing that, right? And then I should have changed it there. And now we're back and we've got kind of a dark gray variant of it, which is my preference. It is a little bit darker. You can kind of see our overlay. And our doc's a little bit different. Or our File Explorer NeoTree, I think is what I'm using. Am I using NeoTree? Yeah, NeoTree. Cool. So it's just that. And let's push that up. Okay, cool. So, yep. Let's go ahead and exit. We'll go back in. I don't know what happened there. Okay, application ERB. So we have so far, we have our template. This template should include your assets as well as yield method to render the inertia page. The SSR header method is used to include the inertia headers in the response. It's required when SSR is enabled. Standard Rails layout inheritance. What else? Standard Rails inheritance with view application is your default layout. If you would like to use a different layout, you can change it in the Inertia Rails configure. So that's just for the default layout. How do I change the layout for other things? You're ready to go server side. Once you set up the client side framework, you can start creating inertia pages and rendering them via responses. So does this mean that it'll use... So if I go here, like we have this example page. We just go back to the home page, which just says welcome to Rails 8. We do want to use React. So what was that other... What was this example using? Example module CSS. Yeah, that's very specific to that, but I don't want that. So globally resolved pages. Okay, so it just uses pages. So if I copy this, we come back here, we add a new page, call it welcome.tsx. Oops, sorry. The arrow keys are the only thing that are a little weird here. Okay, let's try that again. So pages, welcome.tsx. Okay. And then welcome.module.css. And then let's grab this. Let's paste this in our welcome. Save that. We'll come back here. We're going to delete this example because we don't want any of that. We're going to come here. We don't need that. React SVG is fine. I guess that's all just logos. This is going to be welcome to match that. And so how do we render this? So I think what we would do, right, is in our pages controller, what we would want to do, come back to Inertia. So it looks like we could render like this, right? We say render Inertia. We're gonna give it a name. So do we just do we do pages welcome? I don't know if it's pages welcome or if it's just welcome. Props. Here's where we're gonna pass our props. And that's it. And so, yeah, we'll just do like a name. Oh, we have a comment there. Email. Yeah, something like that. So we're not passing any other data. We're just passing a static name and email. Rendering that component. So now if we come back here and reload, what do we get? I think we get our component. Well, we're not getting any data. Let's check our logs. Let's cancel that. Reload. Arrow keys. See what we broke? Interesting. All right, check our dev tools. Looks like the page doesn't have React. Okay, what are we loading? Are we loading our... Oh, there's our component. Oh, but it's not rendering anything. So I wonder if it's just the component name is wrong. Is it just welcome? And that's like the default? What are we doing wrong? We don't need that. So how is it getting that other one? I had to update our routes, right? Okay, so let's do this. Route to Inertia example and then index. Pages and then welcome. So how is that Inertia example? Interesting. There's something in that Inertia example. JavaScript, pages. Let's see, it's loading there. Oh, well, we need to change this to welcome. That's being exported there. Come back here. Still not loading. Again, I don't know if this is pages, welcome, or if this is just welcome. Okay. Inertia example controller. It just renders that. Okay, so it's just welcome. and index is the action. Okay, so okay. Routes. Okay, so our route is inertia example, which is a controller, and then index. Here, we just happen to be pages, and then welcome, and then in our component, sorry, where we render, this is just welcome. Okay, I think that's right. Let's just stop and restart our server, restart Vite. And okay, so now I wonder if what's happening, let's just test this. So let's go to app views, pages, welcome, and we're just going to delete this whole directory. Okay, now we're going to come back, reload, processing pages controller, inertia rails, but then like it's not, there's nothing here. There's nothing in the body. All right, so why is it not rendering the component? What are we missing? What are we missing? All right. Let's see, JavaScript controllers. That's stimulus, so we don't need that. We have our inertia TypeScript. That's fine. It doesn't mention any controller by name. It does say that it grabs all of, looks like it grabs all of the page components, resolves them, eager loads them. If we don't have one, then it throws an error. I don't know about layouts. We gotta learn about that. Okay, but that's all that's doing. That's Rails stuff. I'm not sure why we're not loading. Wish we could get more debug output here with Vite to see what's going on. All right, let's reconnect. Oh, do we have migrations? Is that what's going on? And we're just like swallowing the errors. Just run this real quick just to make sure. I think that's still gonna crash because of the some reason the PIDs in use. Maybe it's because we're running here. Let's try that again. All right, so let's see here. It did build. I don't know why it keeps crashing though. probably something we did with the installer, but it works if we just run the server and then vite dev separately. And I think if we canceled this and did vite build, oh, I mean, it just built them, so it's not gonna. So they should exist. Oh, do we need to run this too? I wonder, I think we're already installed. I think it's already installed. I would have imagined it would have already installed. Okay, we're at least getting this. React refresh. Not found. We're loading the app. We have a component. It says it hasn't been loaded because it's not loading it. How do we get this? How do we get this? Let's see what the AI overlords say. Yep, send that. How do we yeah, I want to use bin dev. Why can't we use bin dev? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, we keep crashing. I probably just need to restart my machine because I've had many servers running, but I don't know why it's crashing here. Let's go from the bottom up. It's always a way to go, right? From the bottom to the top. So we'll see if we can't fix that and go from there. Yeah, I'm like, I would love to get this working because once we're here, we still don't really have like a good directory structure for our components yet. Like, we're not going to throw everything in pages. Or if we have our page layouts there and then subfolders, that's fine. I guess we would probably just add a components directory here, which would be fine. I didn't even think about that. Let's look at our proc file. Yeah, I think it's trying to run the server twice. That was it. Reload. All right, so the server works. We're rendering our layout. Okay. Let's see, that worked. It's now rendering the layout, but not the welcome. Mm-hmm. Which, let's see here. Let's give it some context, right? We have where's our routes? So let's get rid of this. I wonder if we need to do an explicit get route as well. Like this is get. Let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of those single quotes real quick. And then we can get welcome. And this is going to be pages welcome. Like, do we need a separate route, an explicit like get route for it? I don't know. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. We don't need that. We know how to use routes. There's our route path. So let's just provide our routes to the LLM. We'll pass our, we will pass our controller. And why not? Let's give it our component. And let's see if it can't get us out of this this jam, so we can get ShadCN working, which I've never used before. Ensuring proper naming. Okay. Yeah, tell me where it needs to be. Confirm the page name and file name match. By default, Inertia resolves the component name you pass to render against a folder like pages welcome, capital P. This means your controller calls welcome and you have the file at capital P pages welcome. So does this need to be pages? So app, JavaScript. Can't rename it, huh? Okay, we'll do this. App, JavaScript. What if it's a case-insensitive file system? Does it matter? So app, not jobs, JavaScript, pages, welcome.tsx, right? That's what we have. That's what it is there. Man, I really love that LLMs are so right and so wrong all the times. Okay. Verify our create inertia app. Okay, so we're probably doing something there. Nothing here. Nothing there. Beat Rails. I don't know that we have that. Do we actually have that anywhere? What is it like? Entry points inertia. Ah, okay, okay. Also, yeah, we're looking for lowercase pages. We are looking for lowercase pages. Views. We just trick it since it doesn't know how to handle that. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, we're loading that. Can we rerun the server again? All right, so we're building, we're gzipping. Why doesn't it load? Is it the pages things confusing it? Right, like what if we make a new controller? Rails G controller home index. Yeah, like I didn't want all of that necessarily. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and delete all of that. And instead, let's just come in here because like this doesn't specify anything about our controller. So that should be fine, right? Let's say app controllers home controller.rb. We'll write that. We'll come down here. We will grab our Inertia example controller, copy it, paste it in. Come here, rename this to home controller. We're going to rename this to home index. Okay. We're going to pass the param of name, John Doe. Let's just do name, right? Keep it simple. Yep, we'll get rid of those. Using double quotes everywhere. Double quotes everywhere. We're not even using this, but you know what? Double quotes everywhere. Okay. So we have our home controller. It's an exact copy of this. Now, if we go to our welcome TSX, we're going to copy this again. We're going to go pages. And so we had index. Oh, wait, hold on. Does this have... So last time it had, did it have index? No. So index is just the action. All right, so we're just going to name it home. Let's just add home.tsx. And let's just paste all that in. Comment the CSS out for now. We're going to rename this home. And all the rest of that should be fine. In our routes, let's see, home index. Like I feel like there's something, same output. And let's see here. There's some reason why it's not rendering. Let's see if Copilot can help. Let's open that up there. Let's open this. I don't want to take a survey right now. Thank you. App controllers. And we should probably just name this. Welcome controller. Let's rename this to welcome controller. And then we are going to render. Oh, so this is the actual component, right? So we're just going to render welcome. And then let's delete that file. That feels weird to do with a mouse. We don't need that. We're already rendering inertia, rendering inertia. Let's get rid of that. That's fine. There's our welcome controller. So let's do this. Let's add this file to Copilot chat. Let's go to JavaScript, entry points, inertia. Let's add this file since this has context about how our components are loaded from lowercase pages directory, so it doesn't get confused with that. Let's go to pages. We'll go ahead and delete this home one. We didn't actually need that. And we'll go welcome. And we're going to go to Copilot and we're going to add that file. So we have that. Let's grab our routes. No confusion here. All right, let's see what Copilot has. I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick.
This is madness. This is
All right. Sorry about that. Had to refill. Coffee maker should be going in just a minute. Wonder if you can actually hear it when it gets started. Okay. We'll go over here. Excuse me. All right, let's see what our co-pilot's gonna down just a little bit. Oh wait, that's just. Can you hear that? I want to play this back. I wonder if you can hear this on the stream. This espresso maker is something else. But it's good. It's real good. All right, let's see here. So it says, let's analyze the issue step by step. Looking at your routes, you have welcome to pages welcome. Okay. And you have route to home index. Right, so we have welcome index. Okay, so get welcome. Okay, it says it's just a problem, right? Which we just changed this. So do we need welcome index? And index there. Let's add this one as well. I wonder if it is like the. Let's just pull that back over here. Okay, yeah, I see the duplicate script tags. Didn't. Yeah, so I don't think we need this. Hey, we got it. Sweet. All right, now obviously everything is ginormous because we're not pulling in the styles for any of that. So let's go ahead and just delete all of that. So we'll go back here, we'll go to our welcome component, and we don't want any of these. Let's keep this super simple. There's our title. I don't know what the rest of these are. So we'll keep that. We don't want any cards. We don't have styles for any of those. Make sure we close our div. Okay. I guess we can leave our counter, right? Where's our counter? Edit count. It's really just that. And then we want to make sure that we close our div. And now we come over, that should just automatically update. Cool. Now we have our counter. I'm curious how this, so if I come here, open up welcome. Yeah, that's actually fine as well. This one works a little bit better. So it was because we weren't pulling in this Vite TypeScript tag for inertia. That's why it didn't load. Okay, so now it's loading. Cool. So inertia check, Vite Rails check. We definitely have more to learn about. Oh, we can do file uploads with this. What do we need to do file uploads? It's so smooth, man. It's so simple. Right? Oh, yep. Method spoofing. Yep, we can do that. All right, so you submit it. If there are server-side validation errors, you don't return those as 422. Instead, you redirect server-side user back to the form page they were previously on, flashing the validation errors in the session. Oh, you just pass them to inertia. Page.props.error. Got it. Okay, so page. So what if we did something like pre, and then in here, page.props. Page is not defined. Interesting. Let's just get rid of that for now. Let's come back here to our React Dev Tools. We'll go to Components, Inertia at the top level. There's our Welcome component. Whoops. Move this over here. Elements, Consoles, Components. Profiler. Okay, let's go to components. Get rid of that. Bump that up a little bit. Okay, so it looks like our initial state is the component. We do have page, props, then we get name. So how do we access props? Can we just access props by itself? No? Interesting. There's got to be another way to access that page property if you needed it. Okay, well, so that's our basic page. How do we use... Let's look at layouts again, right? All right, so we want to include a layout. Creating layouts. Okay, while not required for most projects, it makes sense to create a site layout that all your pages can extend. Yeah, so again, ShadCN doesn't provide layouts, right? Okay, type, again, new keyboard. No. Okay, so alright, I don't know persistent. While it's simple to implement layouts as children of page components, it forces the layout instance to be destroyed and recreated between visits. This means that you cannot have persistent layout when navigating between pages. For example, maybe you have an audio player or a podcast website and you want to continue playing as user navigates the site. Okay, we don't need that. We also have nested layouts. Got it. So we can automatically set this in our Inertia. TS. Okay. So does this give us an error now? Does that not close? That closes. Why doesn't that work? I mean, we would need to import it, which we don't have yet. So I'm gonna say layouts. App. Would it be easier if we just named it layout? All right, so let's grab, where's this boilerplate for the layout? We don't need persistent layout, we just need a layout. Sure, let's just copy that for now. Children go there. Div. Get rid of them double quotes, we don't need that. We don't need... That's fine. Okay, so there's our layout. So then entry points, inertia. We'll import layout from that. We'll also replace yep. Okay, so we have layout, and then requiring the layout or importing the layout. It says like default page layout. Did that work? I did not. Okay, so it doesn't like this. Okay. So it doesn't like that. Fine. Let's go to pages. Welcome to TSX. Let's say import layout. Sure, let's name it up. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's name an application. And then in our application layout, we'll go ahead and save that. Now, I don't think we're using that layout. All right, so if we don't do that, we don't have a persistent, let's see. So there's our layout. So we're just grabbing from pages. For this to be TSX. Eager true. Grab the page. And so we're doing a couple other things there. But I don't see this. I don't see it actually loading the layout. Why doesn't it load the layout, man? Why? Almost forgot about our espresso. All right, we're not using persisted layouts. We just want to be able to include a layout like this. I don't know if we're going to auto load from here or not, but it's just, let's rename this to application layout.tsx. Okay. And then our welcome component, we are going to import application layout. Okay. And then in here, we have our component. Which is our page. And then do we just do welcome.layout? Okay, application link is not defined. Haha, it's loading. Okay, so we're using link here. Where does link come from? I don't think that's it. Let's copy that, undo, no? I'm not sure where link, is it coming from Inertia? It's probably coming from Inertia. We can get rid of that. Okay. Module welcome, welcome. I don't know, we're getting that twice. Head. Not sure what that is. Body. We get our app. Yeah, we have our props coming through. We're not getting our styling though. So we don't have any tailwind coming through. And I don't see this being applied. Application layout. Okay, layout is being loaded. And div main. Okay, the class is there. Import. We need that? Do we need that? I don't even know how to use that. Let's say we don't need that. And this is just class name. App. Yeah, that still comes through, but our styling's not there, right? And so when we look at our application ERB, we're missing something here to get our tailwind, right? And so if we look at app, assets, style sheet, application tailwind, great. We're not loading that in. Do we need that? Okay, let's jump back to the VS Code. Okay, it's working now, but my Tailwind CSS styles are not loading from app assets. App assets, style sheets, Tailwind.css. You're so confused. All right, let me give you some context. Too confused right now. All right, so we have this. I'm gonna add that to our chat. We are gonna add our package JSON because it has the reference here. We're gonna add our application layout. It's already there, but just in case, excuse me. Then I think we might be able to finally get over to ShadCN. This has been a very long stream. What are we at? When do we start? Almost 2 hours? Yeah, almost 2 hours. Okay, so do we just need this? Is that all we're adding? Refresh tag. Finish that. I mean, if that's all we needed, that'd be nice. Oh yeah, this isn't a thing. Wait, what did we just update then? Application ERV. And we just removed it as soon as we added it. Save that. Reload. Okay, let's see. All right, so I think it's our v config. All right, I don't know what this is. Well, you know, running random code off the internet is what we do. Okay. No. Now it says to try them. Try them now, they say. Still doesn't work. Let's cancel this and rebuild. Try one more time. Still not. Okay, so now it's trying to load this, but the intro, I don't want it to. Let's see, how can we do this? We don't want it to load. We don't necessarily want it to load our Tailwind config. We're loading Inertia. Assets. Oh, it's under JS assets. Got it. So if we go to app asset style sheets, we have this at import tailwind CSS. And what is it doing? Entry point application CSS at import. I wonder if it's getting it there. Okay, so I wonder if we just change that. Yeah, we don't have that route anymore. Get rid of it. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, so it looks like it's getting pulled in there. So it's happening in this application CSS. And then I don't think we actually need it here. We're going to leave it there. But I think this I think we get rid of that. Get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We'll come back here to our JavaScript application CSS. And if we go ahead and paste that in. Now if we come back to our welcome view or our application layout, and we say that this is BG primary, we reload. Well, I guess we don't have to reload. We have hot module reloading with Vite. Sweet. So we've got Tailwind. We've got Rails configured with Rails 8. We've got Inertia. We've got Tailwind 4. We've got a layout for Inertia. We've got a page component. Let's see if we can add ShadCN and wrap this thing up, because it's gone on for far too long. Hopefully there's some value in it for you. If not, hopefully it's enjoyable. Throw it on in the background. Leave some comments down below on what you'd like to see. This is still a very disjointed experience, and I think there needs to be more. I wish there was more guidance and or first-party support. Now I know that the Laravel team has acquired Inertia, and so they are all in on Inertia for Laravel and React, and that might just be the way to go, honestly. This stuff for Rails it's just very disjointed right now, and I wish there were more first-class support. Let's see if we can get ShadCN configured real quick, and then we're going to call it and go probably go work on some Laravel stuff. Let's see here. All right, ShadCN docs. I mean, we're kind of using manual React. Yeah, sure. Why not? Again, code from the internet. You know what I meant? I meant oh my goodness, these arrow keys are rather tricky. Let's run that. Add all those things. What else? We don't want this one. That's for Tailwind. We just want introduction, installation, manual. We've got that. tsconfig aliases. We don't have those. We don't need this sidebar to be 10 miles long. Let's get rid of that, or wide. DSOR files. tsconfig.json. Let's see. References, files. Compiler options. Base URL is dot paths. Let's see how we're going to configure this. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So we're going to say @/star. And that's going to map to dot star. So it's just everything, right? Okay. That alias is a prefix. You can use other aliases if you want. Nah, that's fine, whatever. We don't need a tailwind config JS. We don't need that. So we should be good there. These are theming. We need these in our global. Okay. I trust you. Let's take these and let's go to our entry point CSS here, and we're going to paste those in as our base. Okay. Add a CN helper. Just create a TypeScript file for this. Just copy and paste that in. Create a components JSON. Let's see, we don't need. I don't think we need that for Tailwind, but maybe we do. Maybe we do, and then we need to. Let's see, components. No, we don't have it. Edit components.json. Paste that in for ShadCN. Zinc is our base. I don't know. So CSS is going to be not there. You know, let's leave it. I'm going to see, where is it expecting all these to be? It's like an @/components directory, hooks, utils, lib, components, and then the icon library. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if we need to change this. We're going to look at that. Because, so now we can start adding components. Does our app still load? It does not. Unknown utility class. Border. We probably do need to kill this and restart our server. After all of that, yeah, we get the same error. That's fine. That's fine. Where is this? Entry, application CSS, border. I don't know what these. Let's just get rid of that for now. See if that loads. It doesn't. I don't know where it's pulling those from. Those are not a thing. Okay. So we're loading now. Let's see if we can grab a component. Let's see an helper. We've got that. It did ask for a Tailwind config, which again, we don't have a Tailwind config, but they do have a page on Tailwind 4. Oh, but it says to use this. How do I upgrade? That looks fine. That's adding a resolver for source directory. We don't have source directory. We do have the CSS variables. That's fine. Out of the layer base and wrap the color values. Okay, so if we go to our application CSS, it's saying to move root and dark out of layer base. Okay. I don't know why I did all of that, but okay. Okay, so move those out. It's much simpler to access your theme variables, both utility classes and outside CSS. Yep. Wrap the color values in HLS. All right, that's a job for AI. It's a job for the junior programmer. Wrap all these color values in HSL. And go. You don't need to map out color conversion. I don't need you to convert. Yeah, it should be. I didn't ask you to convert. I mean, I guess it's technically you're converting. Technically. Okay, so we have HSL colors. Updated colors for charts. We're not even using any theme colors. Actually, you can remove the wrapper in your chart config. I don't have that. I don't have that. Update your dependencies. Once again, we will grab this. How do we do this? Control No. We'll run that. Make sure everything's up to date. Remove forward ref. We don't have that. That's fine. Can we do npm update React? Is that gonna break everything? All right, let's see what we got. So we're using React 19. Bet. We're using Tailwind 4.09. TypeScript. Vite. This hotwire stuff that we'll probably never touch again. Man, I think we're set up. I think we're set up. There's a button there with no styling on it, but you know, that's fine. Let's pull in our first component. Let's just pull in a button. Seems like a simple component to pull in. How do we get these? So that like opens it there. Oh, okay. We could have just changed that the whole time. Got it. Okay, so if I do this and I add button, where does it go? I mean, yeah. Source index. Source index.css. Why is it updating source? Okay, so where are we referencing source index? It's got to be in like our components JSON. Yeah. Okay. So our CSS here, source index is not going to exist. So this is going to be app JavaScript app JavaScript let's just add index.css here. Not there. Index.css. Let's just see what it does with it. Okay. Let's try to add that button again. Can I read property of undefined? Updating. Okay, did it change it? Didn't do anything to it. Oh wait, we don't need this. I don't know if we actually need any of this now. I'm gonna think about it. Let's try to add that button again. Like, do we need a Tailwind config? Let's see, commit.json file, an invalid commit.json file found here. You can create a valid JSON commit file by running init command. What init command? Oh, is it the ShadCN? Init? Yeah, just get rid of it. Who cares? Who cares? Wild West here. Which color would you like to use as your base? I think zinc. I'm thinking zinc. Yeah. Load, baby. Okay, it's gonna find it there. Can we add a button? I just want to add a button. Okay, components, UI, button.tsx. I think it was added. Let's go. App, JavaScript, components. Nothing. It says it added it. Where did it add it? It just added it to components. UI, button. It's not what we want. So let's look at our components JSON. Okay, so all of these at app JavaScript / components app JavaScript / lib app JavaScript / components / UI at JavaScript / lib and app JavaScript / hooks. Okay, so that's what we need to. Let's try that again. Now we add it to app JavaScript components UI button.tsx. Okay. App JavaScript components UI button. There's our button. Let's go to welcome. Let's come down here. How do we use this new button? Now that we have it, we can just say import button from UI button. And then instead of this button, we're going to use this button. That alone, fill the result, import app JavaScript components button.tsx. Does the file exist? Yeah, it exists. What are you talking about? App JavaScript. Oh, because CN app JavaScript lib utils. Let's restart our server. Make sure there's not a weird build thing there. We're still failing. Okay. So lib. Let's grab this. Copy that. Delete that file. We're going to add utils / where is it looking for that? So if we look at our components JSON, app JavaScript lib utils, app JavaScript lib utils, app JavaScript lib and we export the function there. That should be fine. We're so close. So close. All right, so why does it fail to resolve the import? The file is there. App JavaScript. because it's crashing. I think we have to relaunch to get a new build. Okay, that's fine. That's telling, right? So if we could not load such file JavaScript lib utils. But it's right there. Oh, is it doubling it up? Got it. Okay, so the lib path is here. All right, so it's got to be something with these paths, which is utils relative to lib, or is it that we need app here, and then bin dev here. Oh, I bet we're gonna have to do a v build first. Interesting. So it loads something. How does that build? Which is like kind of the default, right? Cannot load app JavaScript lib utils imported by button. I don't need a tailwind config. Okay, so let's see. App JavaScript components. Utils. Utils. Oh, I guess that's fine. Utils is app JavaScript lib slash app JavaScript lib utils app. Oh my goodness. JavaScript components UI. Okay, so we have Utils.js. So, or TS, so we're just going to do that. And I think the rest of these are app JavaScript. And let's try to run vite build again. App JavaScript lib utils app JavaScript app JavaScript. It's still doubling it up for some reason. Looks like the load path, right? Oh, well, what do I name that file then? If that it expects that to be a subfolder. What do I name? All right, where did it say to create that? I mean, we didn't do. Oh no, we're doing upgrade guide. Okay, you got that. You got that. We're not using that. We don't care about that. Remove forward ref. We're not using forward ref. Okay. So it's just our components. So somehow our paths are not being found. That's expected to be utils. I don't know where this CN function, where did we get this from? Here? Installation, manual, boom, boom, we got that. Add a CN helper in libutils.ts. Okay, so what if we just said utils move, and we move this to utils/utils. I don't know if that'll fix the load path or not. Again, it's something with it doubling up the load paths, which I don't know where else it would get them from. Like if I just change this to lib utils, for example, We run vite build. All right, looks like it can't find, it's doubling up the path name. App JavaScript lib. Why? Why is it doubling up the path name? Ooh, interesting. Okay, that just might be a conventional thing. So lib utils, we're going to rename this to index.ts. And then what? It can find it. I still don't think that's going to solve the pathing. It's looking for a file. Right? It's looking for this file that doesn't exist. Oh, is it that? Is it our button? Okay, so button is importing. Oh. Got it. So it doesn't need this path thing. That's the problem. Because this should just be @/lib utils. Got it. If you actually read the error message, you'll find it. Okay. Then we get our next error. Button. Default is not exported by button TSX. Imported by okay, see what I'm doing wrong here. We shouldn't need to. Oh, got it. Yeah. So in our welcome, so pages welcome. So I'm gonna get rid of that. That should be fine now, I think. We'll have to create a new one. We just need to wrap this for how we're importing. Let's come back down here, run vite build again. That should build. There we go. We got a nice build. Let's go to 2. Let's run bin dev so that we kick off the build server there with Rails. We'll come back here. Should be able to reload. Okay, so we have what's supposed to be a button. Let's do this. I'm gonna switch out of full screen real quick. This will just be easier if whoa, where did that go? All right, let's switch this out of full screen as well. And let's put that over there. Let's see, what's that? We don't need that. We don't need that. Let's just bring our VS Code over here. What is this? It's a separate thing. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Change that. Okay. Now let's get rid of that. Let's open Visual Studio Code. Not that one, that one. Okay. Let's get back to it real quick. Okay, so we have our, let's get out of there, let's get out of there. Let's just close that. Let's open up our welcome. So here's our welcome page, and we have our button component here, which is our button component coming from Components UI button from ShadCN. It looks nothing like the ShadCN button, so we'll have to figure that out. Again, we have it button. We've added the button. I wonder if this is actually the line we need and it's not that. It still loads even though it doesn't resolve. And it doesn't change anything with the actual button. Let's do whoops. Variant equals outline. Okay, we are getting a button. I think we had this weird like application layout styling thing going on. We don't need that. We don't need a header per se. We're just going to keep that simple for now. Okay, so there's a basic button. It doesn't look great, but I mean it's a button. What if we change the variant to primary? That's not a thing. No? Okay. Let's put this over here. Let's put this over here. We get rid of all these inertia pages. We need to come back and learn more about that at some point. And we'll probably do a separate video on super glue. Okay. So let's see what we have. We have the button. It's just button. Button variants. Okay. So since they're both coming from button, Do I have to comment these, or can I just... Okay, yeah, you do want the comma, button variants. Oh, that's for the link. So do we not need to do that? We do a primary button. It's just button. And then variant is secondary. And that's supposed to be a secondary button. So we're not getting any styles. Even though it has all the styles on it. Which I'm guessing... If I had to guess, let's get rid of that. If I had to guess, yep, variant does exist. Primary is the default. There is no primary. Primary is the default. Yep. Why? Oh, interesting, because we overrode primary. So in our entry points in our CSS, we overwrote primary down here, which was changing that. These are not actually working. There's something with our CSS that's not loading. Do we just need to wrap them in theme? I don't know. We shall try it and see. Hey, custom properties or keyframes. So we can't include, so at layer base does the same thing as having them at the root, which is nothing. All right, so there's something here. What if I get rid of these? Nothing. Okay. So it looks like it's not picking up the CSS. Let's go. No. Tailwind 4. All right, so we don't need to create a new project. We got that. I wonder if we do need to add these like paths, the path resolver to JavaScript instead of source. Oh, and then I bet we wouldn't have to do that like custom, let's see, vconfig. What is MTS? The Microsoft TypeScript instead of just TypeScript? I don't know what that is. Anyways, let's do this. Let's add this resolver. One, two, So we'll add this resolver here. So plugins, add a resolver. We're going to import path. Okay, calm down. Import path. Do we need this? npm. I don't know why we don't have pnpm. Apparently that's the default for everything. Okay. I don't know if we needed that or not. Okay, there we go. So now it's gonna it should auto resolve, not to source, but to app JavaScript. Hey, that auto resolve. Okay, so now we go here. Let's just grab this code. Now I think we can just use that instead of that. I think that's still gonna resolve. Okay, that's no, I don't need to ensure the correct. I mean, both work. I should be able to just use that, right? Let's cancel. Moment of truth. Vite build. Yeah, we're still building. Bin dev. That a little bigger for you. Okay, so we still have a CSS issue. Let's see what else we missed. Okay, so we've got the resolver. We added that. We added the resolver. Everything else there looks fine. Let's look at our Calm down. Got this like floating pre-tag here. It's not doing anything. Save that. Let's look at our tsconfig app.json. .json. Compiler options. Base URL is dot. I don't see that one either, so we'll say paths. And yeah, app JavaScript. Yeah, calm down. We're going to continue everything. Okay. Paths, app JavaScript. That should be fine. I've already added that. Let's see. Whoa. tsconfig.json. So we added the same thing. And the paths here. I don't know, we got this to be different, but this is going to be app JavaScript star. All right, that looks good. All right, we're not creating a new project, but we're updating some things there. All right, let's add. It's getting really annoying with that. Probably gonna regret doing this, but let's install pnpm. Okay, hopefully that was as easy as we hoped. Let's add the button. Okay, duplicate button. Okay. So it is adding it to the same spot. Let's check one more thing in our config. Right, what else were we doing here? In the, what was it? In our components JSON file. I don't think we need this now that we have the resolver. I think we just need that. Let's go into our components. So close all this other stuff that we don't need. Get rid of all that. Okay, so components, UI button. Let's just delete this. Let's come back here. Let's break that out into a new tmux window. And let's add it again. And it still added it to app JavaScript components UI button. Cool. So we didn't need all that extra config there. Come back here, reload. We still have a button component. We still don't have any styles. I don't know why we don't have any styles. We don't need to update it tailwind config. So I think we need like the HLS, right? Let's try this. So app JavaScript entry points, application CSS. None of these are actually working. And I don't know if there's any bearing on us just removing them. Replace them with these. Still no styles. Okay, theming. To use utility classes for theming, set CSS variables to false. Okay. Did something here. CSS variables false. Let's try rebuilding. Okay, at theme blocks must only contain properties and at keyframes, right? So this got screwed up again. At theme, those are just properties. Remove. Oh, well, you can't have that in CSS. Or that. Or that. Now it should load. So not loading anything. That's really annoying. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. Because like... basically it has all the size and none of the color. So BG, right, which it should be getting BG primary, text primary. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so is it getting it from here? So if I do primary is that, reload. If I come down here and say color primary is that, there we go. Okay, so that's what we needed. So I want to change that, and then let's see here. Interesting. You know, let's take a look at what we do in this Laravel app. So resources, CSS, app.css. What are we doing here to theme? Color primary, color foreground, sidebar, base, root. Yep. We're just gonna steal all of this. Let's come back here. Let's just take all of that and replace it with that. And now we get our default style. So I think we needed this. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. And there we go. I think we finally got it. Okay, so let's close that. Let's go back to welcome. Let's just create another button. So let's say variant. Secondary button. There we go. What other kinds of buttons do we have? So if we look at button here, destructive, outline, ghost, and link. Destructive, outline, ghost. Link. And that's going to show up there. Well, it only took 3 hours to finally get it all configured. And I think that's a pretty good setup. Yeah, it's definitely annoying how much work it is to get it configured. And I think, again, this is the problem in my opinion with, this is my problem with Rails and kind of the blank page problem, right? The things that have been released lately seem a little half-baked and not ready to go. Like I mentioned and showed earlier, and you can check out one of my other streams where we go into building a new app with the new version of Laravel, Laravel starter kits, and Laravel Cloud. And it's a much better experience. Like even the login, like check this out. Again, the login experience. So React starter kit.test. We come here, we hit login. We get this nice login screen. We get a sign up screen. We get a forgot password screen. We can email a link to reset. We can log in. Excuse me. We can log in and like this is just really polished, right? When we generate, and we'll go ahead and let's save our changes here. Not there. Oh wait, that moved up here. New keyboard. Working, right? Okay. If we were to come in here now and we were to say Rails G authentication, this is going to generate the new authentication that is included with Rails 8, and so that you don't need to use devise, right? Which is the standard gem that everyone uses. Okay. So let's look what it creates. It creates some password views. A sessions new. Okay. Seems like for our login. A session model, a user model, a current model, session controller, an authentication concern, passwords controller, passwords mailer, and some routes. And it adds a couple of columns to our user table. Okay. Cool. Let's restart our server. And looks like slash, you know, the weird, one of the weird things too, Rails. Oh my goodness, new keyboard. Rails routes -G. Actually, let's just look at them. At all the routes. Right? If we come up here, you're going to notice all, like, our route for logging in is /session/new. Why not /session/sign-in or /login/reg /auth/login/auth/register? Those make sense. These don't make sense. But, you know, regardless, let's go take a look. So /sessions/new. Okay. We got a migration. Got a migration error here. Rails DB migrate. Okay, now come back, reload. Hey, look, there's our login screen, and it only looks a little bit better because we have Tailwind installed. But right now, like, well, we can sign in if we had an account. We can reset our password if we had an account. But you can't like, this is what you get. Like, out of the box, this is what you get. This is what you get with Laravel and the new starter kits, whether it's React, Vue, or Livewire. This is what you get in Rails to start with. So that's kind of the problem. I think the other thing, you'll notice that we went straight here to begin with, and that's because by default, everything is locked down with authentication. So as soon as you create this, and I think it kind of makes sense. It's the opposite of, so if you look at like application controller, everything includes authentication. If we look at authentication, you'll see here that it has a, can we just open this up? What are we doing? What's this inline view? So it requires authentication for every single controller that inherits or that includes this module. And then it has a class method for allow unauthenticated access. So what we could do is we could go into our, what is our welcome controller? Let's turn this song up. All right, we go into our welcome controller. And in here, we would have to say before action allows unauthenticated unauthenticated access, right? And then I think I'm doing this right. We can go, no. How do we use this? Oh, okay. So we just call it because it's a got it. Oh, and it's just allow. Oh my goodness. Unauthenticated access. We can say only index or whatever. Do you have to, is it, it's gotta be comma, right? There's no way it's not. There's no way it's not. No, guess it's just, oh, cause it's a method. So we're just calling the argument. Got it. Okay. So if we come back here, now we should be able to go back to the home page, which we were just locked out of. And yeah, like maybe we use this link on our welcome page, right? So we can use this link here. Let's see, how do we use, I don't know how to use the actual button here. So what do we pass through? It's props. So it just says button. Link is just a style, but what if I want it to be an actual, link? Can I not do that with Shad? Can we not do that, Shad? Show me how to work your button. Work that button like a link. All right, so there's our link, but it's still just a button. Do you actually have a link? Do we just throw an anchor tag inside? I have not used any of this before, so excuse my ignorance. We are learning on the fly. Okay, so let's go back to welcome. And let's say I just want to say ahref equals that. It doesn't seem like what we'd want to do. That feels, yeah, that just like got rid of it altogether. Oh, wait. So /session/new and sign in. So we're going to give it a normal name. And now we click that. If we actually spelled sessions, right? And now we didn't. Why is it not working? Oh, oh, because it's just session. Excuse me. Session new. Okay, now we can get to it from there. That has to not be the way to use a button as a link. I mean, I'm guessing you would just use a link for this. There's no need to have. You get that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to build stuff with ShadCN, React. Probably not going to do it in Rails. Probably just going to do it in Laravel. There's first class support for it. A lot of community documentation. Like I said, Laravel has acquired Inertia, and so they own it. They're taking over maintaining that. They just launched Laravel Cloud, which is built using Inertia and React. and it looks awesome, works really well. So yeah, I think this is kind of the ideal state for where you want to be in your React application. If you're building a large application with lots of components and you just want consistency, accessibility, and you want to use React on the front end where it shines and use Rails on the back end where it shines, I think it's a really, really good combination. So definitely check it out if you haven't. That's all we have for this stream. It took way too long to get this working, but hey, we'll leave it up there. Hopefully somebody will check it out. Maybe we'll pull some clips out of it, post them. Yeah, but that's Rails, Inertia.js, Tailwind, ShadCN, and React 19. That's also Tailwind v4. So check it out. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.